Glad you could join us for the 7:30 News Bulletin. My name is Tandi Wimzumara. First, the headlines. Cardinal Zuppi begins mission to Ukraine, prays for end to war. Government warns contractors against poor road projects. Legislator demands detailed account of government spending on South Africa repatriation exercise, questions rising costs. And in other news, health workers in Ebola-hit DR Congo threaten full-scale strike over unpaid wages. We do have the details to these stories and more. To stay with us. Papal Envoy Cardinal Matteo Zuppi has begun a 4-day peace mission to Ukraine by visiting the Zakhid 1 detention center in the Lviv region, where prisoners captured while fighting for the Russian army are being held. The visit is part of the Vatican's ongoing humanitarian efforts to support those affected by the war. We have more details in this Vatican News report read by Patrick Popper.
Representing Pope Leo XIV, Cardinal Zuppi delivered a message of hope to the detainees, assuring them that the Pope is praying for them and for an end to the war. He also expressed hope that they would soon be reunited with their families. The Cardinal presented each prisoner with 3 symbolic gifts: a keychain to represent the hope of returning home, a holy card of Saulus Populi Roman as a sign of hope, and a photograph of Pope Leo XIV, who sent his prayers and blessings. Cardinal Zuppi was accompanied by the Apostolic Nuncio to Ukraine, Archbishop Visvaldas Kubogas, and Ukraine's ambassador to the Holy See, Andriy Urashi. They toured the detention facility, including the prisoners' living quarters, chapel, and infirmary, with Ukrainian officials saying the center meets international standards. During his visit, Cardinal Zuppi spoke with prisoners from more than 50 countries, listened to their personal stories. He also comforted a 25-year-old detainee who had lost a leg in the conflict, expressing hope that they would soon receive prosthetic limb. Addressing the prisoners, the Cardinal said Pope Leo XIV had sent him to bring hope and encourage them to look towards the future where the war ends and they can safely return home. He urged them not to lose hope despite the hardships they face. The visit concluded with a prayer in the camp chapel where Cardinal Zuppi prayed for peace and for all those affected by the conflict. He encouraged the prisoners to reject hatred, embrace hope, and trust that God would help them overcome evil and begin a new life once the war ends.
The Superior General of the Company of Mary, Montfort Missionaries, Father Joseph Patui Dwama Putra, has called on Montfort missionaries in Malawi to remain committed to their mission by preserving the congregation's legacy of faith through simple living, service, and leading by example as they celebrate 125 years of evangelization in the country. Father Putra made these remarks upon his arrival at Kamuzu International Airport, Kia, in Lilongwe, ahead of the Montfort Missionaries' 125th anniversary celebrations marking years of the congregation's missionary service and evangelization in Malawi. We have more details on this report filed by Gift Kalunga.
Father Putra said the greatest legacy of the Montfort Missionaries is not in the churches, schools, or other physical infrastructure they have built over the years, but the faith they have nurtured in the lives of the people and the growth of the Catholic Church in Malawi. He said this enduring spiritual legacy should continue to guide the congregation's mission, encouraging missionaries to uphold the spirit of their predecessors by living simple lives, remaining close to the people, and proclaiming the gospel through their actions as well as their words.
This feeling at home, feeling happy, and also feeling really welcome also. That is my feeling. And then also particularly now, because we are celebrating our presence of 125 years. So this joy also, for me is really a kind of, full of joy being here. Though it is interesting that I have to come twice.
Father Jacob Otieno, Superior Delegate of the Montfort Missionaries Anglophone Africa Delegation, said the 125 years anniversary is a reminder of how the Catholic faith in Malawi has grown from humble beginnings, likening the congregation's journey to build biblical parable of the mustard seed.
Actually, this moment has been a moment of reflection also. As we celebrate 125 years, we remember the past, of course, to see where we have come from, to see where we are, and also project on where we are going. As you have said, seeing on where we are going, also having our roots to see the things which have been done by our forefathers, gives us encouragement also that we have to take a step ahead. Like now they start with the issue to promote vocations. We need also to have more Montfort missionaries, so that like those ones who came to evangelize here, we want also Montfort fathers from Malawi here, and also from our delegation, as a delegation, to be also missionaries also to other places. That is number one, also in vocation, but also to continue the work of evangelization and also the mission of witnessing in the spirit of Montfort.
The Montfort missionaries arrived in Malawi in 1901 and will celebrate 125 years of missionary service on August 1, 2026 at Baraka Parish. The Malawi Catholic Church will later commemorate 125 years of Catholicism in the country on September 19, 2026 at Mzama Parish in Ncheu in Desert Diocese, in celebration organized by the Malawi Conference of Catholic Bishops. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Gift Kalonga.
Government has warned contractors and consultants against delivering substandard road projects, emphasizing that it will not tolerate unnecessary delays, poor workmanship, or unjustified cost overruns. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony for the Golomoti Jamtulo Lot 2 section of the Golomoti Monkey Bay Road, Minister of Transport and Public Works Jabi Mahango called on the Roads Authority and the public to play their role in protecting road infrastructure, also reaffirming government's commitment to rehabilitating strategic roads across the country. We have more details on this report read by Gideon Kajala.
According to Muhango, government road rehabilitation program extends beyond the Golomot Monkey Bay road and includes other priority projects such as Chiweta Kalonga Road, as well as the upgrading of rural roads to improve access to markets, public service, and economic opportunities. He has called on contractors to construct the road authority to ensure that all road projects are completed on time, within the budget, and to be required quality standard.
It's simple, very simple. Three basic things that they'll have to do, and these are very fundamental. One is that these projects must be delivered of high quality. That's number one. Number two,
Technical Advisory Committee Chairperson, Engineer Newton Kambala, noted that bad roads are costing the country a lot of forex by importing materials for vehicle maintenance.
Bad roads or damage of vehicles, and we are losing forex buying spare parts in Malawi, and yet we are struggling to get the forex. So the best is for government through road authority to make sure they fix all these roads. They should be in good condition.
Meanwhile, National Bank of Malawi Board Chairperson Dr. Grant Kabango has insistently affirmed that bank commitment to support the government infrastructure development agenda, pledging the institution to continue partnership in delivering projects that contribute to the country's socio-economic growth.
We will achieve a lot in supporting government in its agenda of infrastructure development. We believe a road is key to economic growth. As we said earlier, this particular road is is crucial for the Malawian economy because its destination is Mangochi, which is our major tourism spot.
Rehabilitation works over 28.4 kilometers long will take between 12 to 24 months, will be undertaken by Motor Angel Africa.
Concerned citizens, dubbed Malawi People Power Movement, has called on Malawians to promote responsible public discourse and avoid making unsubstantiated allegations against charitable institutions, saying such claims risk undermining public confidence and discouraging donor support. The organization's national coordinator, Prince Mataka, made these remarks during a press briefing held in Luntha on Wednesday. We have more details in this report read by Gideon Kajala.
That charitable institutions continue to play a critical role in complementing government's effort to support vulnerable communities, empower women and young people, and promote environmental sustainability. Mataka says that organization is concerned by what it describes as increasing tendency by some individuals and groups to question the integrity of charitable organizations without sufficient evidence.
The increasing tendency by some individuals and groups to cast doubt on the integrity and legitimacy of charitable institutions operating in Malawi. At a time when the country continues to grapple with economic hardships and growing social needs, charitable organizations remain an important partner in complementing government efforts to support vulnerable communities.
Mataka also referred to the recent public debate surrounding by Beautify Malawi Trust BIM, saying that although the organization is associated with the Office of First Lady, it remains a charitable institution established to support vulnerable communities and advance environmental conservation rather than a political organization. He said that BIM has over the year implemented humanitarian programs and the sanitation initiative that have completed the government efforts to improve the welfare of women, children, and other groups. Mataka says are concerned that reckless accusation and misinformation targeting the charitable institutions could create an atmosphere of suspicion that may discourage local and international development partners from supporting humanitarian programs. He has since called on civil society organizations and media, community leaders, and the general public to ensure that public describes as a guide by fact, fairness, and the shared commitment to national development, while encouraging charitable organizations to continue upholding transparency and accountability and serving Malawians.
Remember that you're watching news coming to you live from Bishop Nevi Media Center. We'll be back with more right after this short break.
Nsalu ya chaka cha Montfort Missionaries zaka 125 ku Malawi. Pamene chipani cha Montfort Missionaries chikuchita chaka chokondwerera zaka 125 za utumiki wake kuno ku Malawi, kuli nsalu ya chakachi kapena kuti kalala pa mtengo wa 18,000 kwacha yokha basi. Nsalu imeneyi ikupezeka ku malo awa: Luntha TV ku area 2 kufupi ndi Mchesi mu mzinda wa Lilongwe, Utatu Oyera Parish ku Kawale mu mzinda wa Lilongwe, St. Louis Montfort Parish ku Balaka, Uganda Martyrs Catholic Parish kwa Vumbwe ku Tcholo, komanso ku St. Joseph the Weka Catholic Parish kwa Sitima ku Zomba. Pamwambowu padzakhalanso udikoni wa Brother Felix Nimanya, komanso kukondwerera zaka 25 zakukhazikitsidwa kwa gulu la mofolo lotumikira m'mayiko oyankhula chizungu muno mu Africa, komanso kukumbukira zaka 25 za utumiki wa Bambo Louis Nkukumira komanso Bambo Felix Mavuto Phiri osewa achipani cha mofolo. Kalala yake ndi yomweyi. Gulani nsalu yanu lero, mtengo wake ndi 18,000 kwacha yokha basi. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri imbani foni pa manambala awa: 0882407640 kapena 0984094095.
Welcome back. Before we proceed with the news, let's have another look at the headlines. Cardinal Zuppi begins mission to Ukraine, prays for end to war. Government warns contractors against poor road projects. Legislator demands detailed account of government spending on South Africa repatriation exercise, questions rising costs. And in other news, health workers in Ebola-hit DR Congo threaten full-scale strike over unpaid wages. Proceeding with the news, Member of Parliament for Lilongwe constituency, Steve Baba Malondera, has called on government to provide a detailed account of the money being spent on repatriating Malawians from South Africa, questioning whether the rising costs reflect the actual expenses involved. The legislator was speaking after Wednesday's parliamentary proceedings following a report by the Parliamentary Committee on International Relations, which highlighted the increasing cost of bringing Malawians back from South Africa. The committee recommended temporary measures to discourage undocumented Malawians from traveling to South Africa in search of informal employment. Constance Kamtameni has filed this report.
In his remarks, Malondela said the funds allocated for the exercise appear excessive and urged authorities to explain how every kwacha is being used to ensure transparency and prevent misuse of public resources.
When the report was being presented, it was clear that the budgeted amount was 24 billion, and the chairperson came out very clearly that the target is to ensure that about 15,000 Malawians are repatriated back home.
Meanwhile, Vice Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on International Relations, Frank Mwenefumbo, clarified that the figures presented in Parliament were based on area projections. Mwenefumbo said government has since repatriated approximately 41,000 Malawians at a lower cost than the initial estimates. He added that implementation of the committee's recommendations now rests with the relevant government authorities.
And that is to say, after consulting with the ministry officials, both from Foreign Affairs, DOTMA, Immigration, and also Finance, as of today, as of yesterday, government has managed to beat that their own budget. Actually, in other words, they have repatriated 41,000 Malawians.
The committee has called for stronger monitoring of undocumented migration, improved verification of returnees, and measures aimed at reducing the financial pressure associated with repatriating Malawians from South Africa. For Luntha News, this is Constance Kamtemen.
The Federation of Civil Service Unions, FOCSU, has applauded government for its timely and progressive decision to lift restrictions on recruitment and promotions for vacancies already provided for in the 2026 financial year budget. Speaking to Luntha Television, FOCSU General Secretary Frank Moyo described the move as a step in the right direction, saying it will strengthen public service delivery across government institutions. Emmanuel Shuocha has filed this report.
According to Moyo, the decision will enable ministry departments and agencies to fill critical vacant positions, thereby reducing staff shortage, easing workload, and improving efficiency in the delivery of public service. FOCSU has also welcomed government guidance requiring justification for filling accumulated vacancies from previous financial years and for newly established posts, saying the measure will help to ensure accountability and prudent use of public resources.
The Federation of Civil Service Unions, FOCSU, wishes to express its profound appreciation to the government of Malawi for the progressive and timely decision to waive restrictions on recruitment and promotion for vacancies occurring in the current financial year.
The union noted that the recruitment freeze introduced under the government expenditure control measures of 6 November 2025 resulted in significant staffing gaps, increased workload for existing employees, and limited opportunities for career progression. FOSU has expressed optimism that the latest policy shift will boost staff morale, improve service delivery, and contribute a more efficiency and responsive public service. For Luntha News, in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel.
In other news, health workers fighting the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, are threatening to go on a full-scale strike over unpaid wages as the World Health Organization, WHO, warned Tuesday the extent of the epidemic could be 4 times larger than reported. According to the latest official toll published on Tuesday, the highly infectious virus has killed more than 700 people among the nearly 2,000 confirmed infected in the Democratic Republic of Congo since the outbreak was declared on the 15th of May this year. We have more details in this African News report read by Patrick Popa.
The WHO said the scale of the outbreak could be 2 to 4 times the official estimates, complicating the response effort. Health workers at the epicenter of the epidemic told the AFP they had not been paid since the virus was detected at the Ebola Treatment Center in Rwampara, one of the worst-hit areas at the epicenter of the outbreak in the northeastern province of Ituri. Health workers burned tires and protested on Monday and temporarily blocked access to the center. Doctors at the center said if the authorities did not hit their 48 hours ultimatum for salaries and bonuses to be paid, they would launch a full-scale strike with no minimum service provided. During a visit to Ituri on Thursday, Health Minister Samuel Roger Kamba acknowledged delays in payment and gave assurances that the organization issue at the root of the problem would be resolved. Health workers on the front line are struggling to keep up with the spread of the virus in the vast Central African country, which is among the poorest on the planet. At least 112 health workers have been infected and 35 have died, according to the National Public Health Institute.
We now give you the weather update as presented by our colleague Tapiwa Kutakumoto.
Good evening, and it's time for weather forecast. Cold to very cold conditions were experienced over most areas this morning, with Lobi Indata reporting the coldest at 5 degrees Celsius, followed by Mulanje Mountain, Kamuzu International Airport in Lilongwe, and Malingunde, which reported 6 degrees Celsius. We are currently expecting partly cloudy conditions accompanied by cold to very cold temperatures at night and during morning hours, while warm temperatures will be persisting over most areas in the afternoon. Occasionally, windy conditions are also expected across the country, while Mwela winds with speeds of 40 kilometers per hour will be blowing over our lake water bodies, including Lake Malawi and Lake Chirwa. Hence, we are still advising all lake users, including fishermen, to be very observant. This is all due to the influence of an incoming high-pressure system, which will be pumping in moist southeasterlies into the country, influencing all these conditions. This is also why tonight we are expecting mostly cloudy conditions over the south, the central, as well as some parts over the north. We are also expecting cold to very cold conditions in some areas, or occasionally windy conditions will be blowing over the central and the north. Similar conditions will persist into tomorrow morning hours, coupled with fog patches in some areas, as well as isolated rain drizzles, mainly over the north. Temperatures will feel very cold tomorrow in the morning hours over most areas in the central, such as Leidza and Lilongwe, which are being forecasted at 7 degrees Celsius, but generally cold conditions are expected over the south, the central and the northern part of the country. Looking into the afternoon hours of tomorrow, we should expect partly cloudy conditions over most areas in the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country, accompanied by hazy conditions as well as occasionally windy conditions. Temperatures are also expected to remain hot over a few areas such as Ngabu and Nsanje at 29 degrees Celsius, similarly over Kalonga, but generally mild to warm conditions are expected tomorrow in the afternoon over the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country. Looking into Friday, we should expect few clouds over most areas in the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country, accompanied by occasionally windy conditions. Hamtavua kutamudu, be wise, be weather-wise.
That weather update also brings us to the end of what we had for you in this edition of our news bulletin. Before we go, a reminder of the headlines. Cardinal Zuppi begins mission to Ukraine, prays for end to war. Government warns contractors against poor road projects. Legislator demands detailed account of government spending on South Africa repatriation exercise, questions rising costs. And in other news, health workers in Ebola-hit DR Congo threaten full-scale strike over unpaid wages. My name is Tandi Wemzumara. Thank you so much for keeping me company, and do continue following the rest of our programs right here on Luntha TV. Goodbye for now, and do stay safe.